How's it going, guys? Welcome. Sorry, I got a little thing in my throat. Welcome to the Piggy Bank podcast. We're going to keep rolling. Don't even reset that. This is the Piggy Bank, your favorite casual gaming podcast with your casual game buds. My name's Phil. I'm the host for this lovely show, here with my friend Connor Elliott.
I hope you're all having a great day today. I am.
Did like a nice little limp wrist flick there. It was interesting.
Did I?
A little bit.
Nice. Stop you.
Here across the table from Connor, we have
to him.
Tavin Bothel.
I just hate. You know? There's just a part of me that inside, and it just hates. And it's whatever that interaction just was, chat. I hated it. I hated all parts of it.
Was it the fact that I looked at the main wide camera, when then realizing out of the side of my eye that it was pointing towards me, and so I course corrected? Or was it the?
I don't cut to the wide until everybody's introduced, right? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I caught it pretty quickly without you having to say anything or make a face or do anything. So you can't commend earlier before we started the show Phil remembering things and then not do that to me. It's just unfair.
I mean, he can because
because it was before the cameras were rolling.
That's whatever. Yeah, this only matters when the camera is rolling. So there's also the difference in culpability there.
Quality, ladies and gentlemen. We can promise nothing but quality here at Two Penny Games. Thank you so much for subscribing.
Indeed. Make sure to, if you like what we're doing here on Two Penny Games, to leave a like and, give us a subscription. And, if you like our funny antics when we talk about games, when we look over news and reviews, and that time I did mean to rhyme. I didn't mean it last week when I said it, but now it's going to be a new thing.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, I'm a wordsmith. What can I say?
Why do you take offense at that, Tavin?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything.
Tavin, you're an actor. Yeah, exactly.
You didn't have to say anything.
Don't they teach you in acting school that you can portray different emotions and thoughts with more than just words?
Yes.
All about,
so that's what you just
sometimes
did.
it's about subtlety and not saying anything.
Sometimes it's about subtlety and not saying anything. I agree. I agree. Sometimes you just let the reaction play, Connor. You know what I mean?
You repeated that in a way that made me
could not agree more.
Could
not agree more.
Phil, why are we here?
Boys, we're here to talk about video games. And our weekend playing video games, new little pop culture news, like what I kind of wanted to open with. Keanu Reeves playing Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic Movie 3. Paramount Sonic Movie 3. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Very.
Coming out, I believe, October this year?
Yeah.
December 20th.
Yeah.
December.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's right.
We've had that talk.
That's right. It's right before your birthday. That's right.
No, it's not before. It is.
Oh, that's right. It is your birthday.
It is my birthday.
Sorry.
Something else is coming
21st.
out. Something else is coming out like the 19th. So I don't know what that
I was
is.
thinking that yours is the 21st, but that's another friend of ours that's the 21st.
I always think 21st as well. Every single time it gets around to your birthday, I have to remind myself of the exact day.
I do that with my dad's birthday. I had to text my sister this week and be like, hey, it's the 30th, right, for April, because his birthday's in April. I was like, it's April 30th, right? And she goes, yes. And I was like, okay, I was just checking to make sure it wasn't the 31st. You don't want to send the day late text, and then you're just an asshole.
April doesn't have a 31st.
30th.
Who the fuck keeps track of which months have 30 and 31 days in them?
Me, I guess, and fuck me for knowing that.
I get.
That's a good thing to know. It always screws me over when I'm planning out how many days are in a month. And I don't take that into account.
There is a way to calculate the year out to where all months have 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Do tell.
Oh, you're talking about adding a month?
No. You can keep the same number of months, 12 months. It's just New Year's Day is without a month. So the first day of the year is its own day.
I like that.
Separate.
Cool.
And then every other month is 30 days.
That's like a sci-fi concept. I like
that. And then on leap years, you just add a second monthless day. And it's an extra day off. Everybody would get New Year's Day off. We'd come back on January 1st. And then there you go. And then every leap year, you get 2 days off.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Tavin spit
over
here.
Listen.
I like that.
Listen. We make things harder than they need to be.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Here's the thing. It's not us. We're just accepting the situation. Like we're like There's nothing we can do to like as in the three of us. There's nothing the three of us can do.
You're not
about
you're,
this.
I mean, there's
like
one
that.
thing you could do.
What?
Vote blue. Just saying.
I don't think that'll change anything on that front.
No, it won't. But you know,
I don't think that's on the list of their stances in their platform.
Oh,
is-
getting
is,
the-
we want every month to only have 30 days, and we'll have New Year's Day.
these
be its own
motherfuckers
separate
can't even agree to like get rid of
daylight savings.
daylight savings. Piss
Yeah,
me
no luck
off.
there.
That we got it. It was there, and then they went. You know what? Never
there.
mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
Why do people care about that? Who cares?
We skipped right over
annoying.
Keanu Reeves being in Sonic.
Yeah.
Not really though. Not really though, because I voiced my excitement and I talked about how it's going to be really great, and I thought it was coming earlier, but now I just have to build that anticipation even more.
There you go.
For an extra 2 months.
Extra 2 months.
I'm
I'm excited.
That movie.
Sonic 2 is a lot of fun. Is it like a great film? No, not really. But it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So I'm quite excited to see what they do for the third one.
I'd
Knuckles
say
Knuckles show
it's-
looks decent.
I'm probably gonna watch that.
The show coming out?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
about
it's-
Knuckles.
Knuckles the Echidna.
Ah, yeah, I
starring-
remember that now.
Starring Idris Elba.
The titular character.
And I'll tell you what, for being because it's like a Paramount show, I think.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus.
Paramount, yeah. It looks just like the movie.
Yep.
Which is impressive.
I think
All
that
the
one of
trailers
the.
we've seen, yeah.
I've never seen any of the Sonic films, but I think they still, to this day, made one of the best decisions in all of film, which is to change that character design and delay it for a year. It's really paid off over the years.
I mean, except that it led to the closure of that studio and a bunch of people lost their jobs.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah. No, yeah, that studio bankrupt. Gone.
Ugh,
Yeah. It sucks.
Was that Blue Sky?
I have no idea. Could not tell you.
No,
Blue
that
Sky.
wasn't Blue Sky. Blue Sky. They were the ones that behind Ice Age.
Yeah, that's who they were. Yeah.
No, they're still doing stuff.
How do you know?
No, they're not.
No?
Blue Sky? No, they've been gone.
Oh.
All of their
I
stuff's
guess-
on Disney now.
It's probably that Ice Age 4. You know? Shouldn't have done that one.
I think there was Ice Ages after
Was
that.
was it Ice Age 4 or 5 and 6?
There were 6 Ice
Yeah,
Ages?
there was a lot. I think there was even a spin-off with like the muskrats or whatever those rodents were.
What are we
Not
doing?
Not good.
Nothing anymore.
Well, the spin-off was after they were acquired by Disney, and that was still really bad. So
All the eggs in one basket, huh?
I legit
you
thought
know,
that
and that-
franchise stopped at 4.
no,
Jesus Christ. It's like
No.
when, what was another franchise that did that to me? Rocky. I didn't know how many Rockies there were. I thought there were 4 and then Creed. No, there's 6 Rockies.
yep.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I have not. I don't think I've seen 6.
6 is okay. It's a nice, like, legacy film. It's a nice, like, saying
Yeah.
goodbye to Rocky movie, but it's not a great movie.
Didn't that come out in like the 2000s? or
Yeah,
something
it's like 2006, I want to say.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was gonna guess like somewhere between 2004 and 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like at least a decade between Rocky 5 and Rocky 6.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Rocky 5, awful. One of the worst movies ever.
Is that the one with the robot?
Yes. I believe so. I believe that's correct. Or is that 3? I forget.
Happy birthday, Polly. It was
I
not
thought
3.
3 was Ivan Drago.
No, that's 4.
No.
Oh.
Three is fucking Mr. T.
Oh, I forgot he was
Yeah.
in one of those movies.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen
3's
one.
not good either, but for some reason the fan base loves 3. But 3's not good.
3's not good, but
not
it's.
good.
I mean, there's parts of it that I still think back to, and I'm like, yeah, like how they made a parody version of it for an episode of Family Guy.
Yeah. lot of homoeroticism in 3.
Really?
2 big bulky men running on the beach and splashing each other in the water. Not kidding.
Yeah.
It's just that in slow motion. A lot of shots of
That's like the-
thighs. Lots of shots of thighs.
It's the even more homoerotic version of the beach scene from Top Gun Maverick.
100. No, like Top Gun Maverick feels like female gaze. Like we are looking like we're just looking at hot men being hot.
And
But
buff and splashing each other in the on the shore while
yeah.
playing like
With
beach
playing
football.
Football, yeah. But it like it feels like it's garnered to women. Like this is so like women can get wet in the movie theater, you know. So this is their scene before we go blow up a bunch of stuff. In Rocky 3, it's for the gays. It is for the gay men. And congratulations for the 1980 whatever, 70 whatever. Good for them.
Tavin, are you possibly reading too much into it, and you were just watching that and just feeling a little something? What's
Hey,
he
if
doing?
that's how he was feeling, that's how he was feeling.
As far as art goes, if it's able to elicit the response it wants you to feel, it's a success. And I guess this one's being gay.
Boys, jumping off from the movie portion of this episode of the Piggy Bank, I kind of just wanted to go ahead and hop into like video games. You know what this podcast is really about.
Indeed.
And boys, y'all been playing anything new recently? Because I've been still playing a shit ton of Unicorn Overlord. This game is still phenomenal. I believe I'm in there's a total of 5 continents, and I'm on the 5th continent right now. So
Wait, how many are there again? 6?
5.
You said? 5. Oh shit. Okay. Damn. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that game eventually. But after I watched the homoeroticism that Tavin, suspiciously, as it says on there, is downloaded to his phone.
What?
Yeah. Tavin.
What do you mean?
Tavin.
You fucking with me?
No. What are you doing, Tavin? Come on.
I don't know what you're talking.
Be honest. Now you're being pathetic.
All right, he's fucking with me.
Damn it. Well, yeah. Jesus. Yeah, they're just like.
Yeah,
Why is Rocky running so weird in that?
I don't know.
bit?
Tell me when they start splashing each other.
Ah, they're getting in the water.
Yeah, there they go. Yeah.
They're
all
gonna
right.
chest bump. Oh, they're hugging. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. This is gay.
is this is this
Not
is
about.
this
I'm not
Rocky
saying
and
it's
Apollo?
bad. It's just.
Yep, it is.
It's super gay.
Rocky and Apollo, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at him go.
Dang.
Look at them.
What are they
go.
even celebrating? Just running?
Just being good at being sexy. You know, they're doing it.
Was that the end of the movie?
That's the montage. That's the big montage before the
okay.
fight. And they
R.I.P.
This is their way of like being like, we did it. Oh yeah, Carl
Yes.
Weathers. What a
Fuck,
shame.
right.
Yeah,
Rest in peace. God, he was sexy.
big time.
Tavin, you're just.
Did you see
doubling
Arnold
down.
Schwarzenegger got a pacemaker?
Yeah, I'd seen that.
I did not.
That's kind of sad. After he's had 3 open heart surgeries in the last couple of years.
I think it
That's
has
crazy.
something to do with him being a
All the
bodybuilder.
all
It's
the
def-
HRT.
It's definitely the steroids. Definitely, we're watching the steroids take their effect. I think Sly probably got off of the steroids at the right time. You know,
Sly
never-
Stallone.
Sylvester's?
Sly
Yeah,
Stallone.
Sly is Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone.
I was like,
yeah.
huh? I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Me no stupid. Me no
Yeah.
smart.
So yeah, I've been playing a shit ton of Unicorn Overlord, but what have you guys been playing?
Well, I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
so we have a spoiler review and a regular review
Spoiler
for people
cast.
who haven't beaten it yet, or are not on that part of the journey yet in Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I want to say dived into Dragon's Dogma 2, but I really haven't. I'm still very surface
Mm-hmm.
level, and I'm already getting sidetracked fighting goblins and trolls who get very, very horny for women. Oh yeah. And one of the weaknesses is when they see a woman in your party, it could be you. They start going crazy and go, and they
Oh my
like,
God.
yeah, and it distracts them. But now the character who's the woman has to watch out. That's going for him.
You just gotta bat him off with a stick.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that rather than just, I'm not saying he just goes over there and hits them. He picks them up, and then it's like you got to jump on
Are
that
they
guy
big?
and stay. Oh,
They're big?
Yeah, like
Oh,
size
okay.
of 3 of your characters.
Oh.
So maybe 2 and 3/4, I guess. But no, he's big.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
big boys. They're big boys, and they like women.
They
They're
do.
King Kong of them.
They kind of look like apes too. So I think it
okay.
might be a reference to that.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm
Is this
still
a
playing.
goblin or a troll?
Troll.
It's a troll? I
Yeah.
thought you said ogre.
You definitely said goblin.
I was fighting goblins, and then I got to the troll. It should be a troll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has to be a troll.
Regardless, I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm trying to clean up all the side stuff in it. I have completed 1 of 5 regions, so there's that. Currently, I'm in the Golden Saucer, cleaning up all the mini games in the Golden Saucer. I did the Chocobo races, which were entertaining. Some of them can get kind of difficult. which surprised me. Because you don't know, Phil, the Chocobo races in Rebirth are pretty much just Mario Kart ripoffs. Very fun. Very fun. No items, but like, you're picking up like little speed boosts and stuff. It's a kart racer, but on a Chocobo.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
It's
well,
fun.
I'm really glad that Connor brought up the spoiler cast because just kind of a side thing. Connor, I know you don't really watch it, but I was watching Kind of Funny's Games Daily podcast today, and they mentioned because I guess somebody like super chatted and asked if there's any plans for a Final Fantasy VII spoiler cast, and you, Tavin, you're constantly begging for Tim Getty's attention.
I want it,
and trying to get him to allow you on this spoiler cast.
Yeah,
and it was very funny because Blessing mentioned, because it was Tim and Blessing was like, yeah, I'm a really big fan of you not confirming that whether you're going to do it, because then people will just keep sending us super chats to ask if we're going to do it. And
that's
like
a good way
just $5 to just farm over and over and over.
Listen here, clear mics. Listen here. Hey, Tim Geddes, I love Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Let me be on the spoiler cast. I'd really appreciate it. I got a lot of theories, a lot of ideas. I want to talk about them. This guy right here, he sat down and watched me or listened to me rant to him about all the spoilers that I could, and he didn't believe a single fucking one of them because he's an idiot. But you're not an idiot, Tim Geddes.
Cast reasonable doubt.
Put me on the spoiler cast.
You can suck his dick.
If you say no, you might be an idiot.
Is that true, Tavin? Is that what you were inferring?
I've got a lot of buttons to push. Okay. I'm not going to go that far, but it's always a possibility. It's always a possibility.
No, we love Tim.
We love Tim. Put me on the spoiler cast.
Please.
But I'm also really glad, Tavin, that you talked about mini games in the Gold Saucer, because we like playing mini games here on the show. Connor has one for us this week. Something new,
and we'll see if it works out. But this game is going to be called Guess Who? I didn't come up with the name. Tavin did. I can't come up with names.
It's not
your
not
presentation. We need to talk about your presentation.
What? Bringing that to the attention of the audience?
You went up and then didn't go anywhere and then fell. So we just need to off mic. We need to have a conversation about.
I get what you mean.
Some showmanship.
Showmanship. What am I, a fucking
Hugh Jackman and The Greatest Showman?
Yeah. The funny thing is that I was thinking that in my head, and I'm like, I hadn't even seen that movie.
You haven't?
No.
It's okay.
Yeah, I remember you watching it and having that same kind of reaction.
Connor, right here, right now, I put the offer out. I don't want to cut you down, but I know you see it. You run with me, and I can cut you free out of the drudgery and walls you keep in.
I'm guessing you like that film, huh?
Shout out to that movie podcast with the two guys, and one of them likes the two like nerdy dudes. And I can say that because we're nerdy dudes, but the two nerdy dudes who talk about like Marvel movies and stuff, that one dude wears the Spider-Man jacket, got into a lot of heat because he named his like top 5 favorite movies of all time, and Greatest Showman is like number 2 or 3 on his list, and the internet like exploded on him and went, "How is The Greatest Showman?" And he goes, "I just really like it, guys. It's just I fucking love the movie. What do you want from me?" And I'm like, you know what?
It's not like he was saying. It was not like he was saying it's like definitively the top 10 greatest movies of all time. He's saying it's his own personal favorite movie list.
He just really likes it. Good for you,
That's
buddy.
Perfectly fine.
Like your movie.
That's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine.
No, it's not.
This hating ass motherfucker. Explain the rules of your game.
So I went and I looked up some games and the ESRB rating. For those of you that live under a rock and are also listening to a gaming podcast and don't know, they're the people who are in charge of how games are rated. And so I went to a couple of games, got their rating and why they're rated for it, as well as the release date of the game. And these two gentlemen are going to have to guess what game that is. There is the chance, although it's kind of defeated a bit by having the release date of the game at the very front. But if they can tell me the game, even if it's just the franchise, they get 1 point. If they name the specific game that I'm asking them to rate, then they get 2 points. And so it's, we'll see how this goes. We haven't done this before. Sometimes these new games can go, somewhere, like I did the pre-order one. That took off, and I know there's some that didn't. So hopefully this is one of the good ones. Don't you guys agree? Huh?
Did you do that? Did you come up with the or did I?
No,
because it was
I came up with the name.
Yes.
Phil got the name.
Yeah.
I want to know who brought the game to the table.
Because I remember I came to it with.
I don't remember.
I came to it with It was the fucking Final Fantasy. No, not.
It was
Final
before
we did
this.
one before that.
Yeah, it was dang.
It doesn't
Swear to
really
God, it
matter
was
who
me,
came
but
up
it
with
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I just know it wasn't me, so I'm not championing. Like, oh, it was my idea, you know.
I also don't care enough. So,
Well, either way.
how are we guessing?
Well, I decided off camera of
Uh-huh.
who's going first with a little coin flip. And Tavin, you're going first. You got the. You,
Oh,
you
look at
won.
me.
Isn't that nice? I could do it live.
Now,
but
I'm
wasting
sorry.
my
So,
time.
like, are you giving us both an opportunity to guess before you reveal the answer?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Just because you never know. But you're gonna go first.
Okay.
With this M-rated game
Okay.
that came out in 2021.
Ooh.
It is rated M for blood, drug references, partial nudity, sexual content, strong language, use of alcohol, and violence.
Okay, well, I have one in my head right away
Mm-hmm.
that ticks a lot of those boxes, but I don't think it ticks all the boxes. And that gets complicated.
I have a guess.
I have a, yeah.
I don't have that strong of a pulse on the entertainment software ratings board.
21 is a tough year for me because that was like a pretty good year in games, but it wasn't like a super memorable one.
Mm-hmm.
2021,
Can I get the descriptors again?
Sure. Rated M, of course, for blood, drug references, partial nudity, sexual content, strong language, use of alcohol, and violence. Good old-fashioned, what's that? What do they call it in
Okay.
Clockwork Orange? Never seen it.
All right. Well, Phil, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Ultraviolence. That's what it is.
Well, see, I had a guess before I realized that, hey, the guess that you had was not a 2021 game.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Fuck,
Say Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Do it.
okay, as much as you might wish for there to be partial nudity in that game or sexual content, I'm sure.
Yeah, I remember you saying once before, I find the...
I want to see Clank fuck.
No,
I'm just.
I was going to do the
you and I
Rivet
both
one.
know that you and I both know that it's not Clank is who you're thinking of there.
I don't find Rivet attractive.
Tavin's a furry. Anyway,
I think we're confusing my love for Carmelita Fox. And I mean, come on, guys.
Right.
Have we seen Carmelita Fox?
Yeah, that's more human
That's
proportions.
still-
So you get the...
He
He
gets
gets the
I
pass.
thought of another game, but that's once again not a 2021 game.
All right.
so
Well,
just gonna pass.
I'm throwing out Deathloop.
I never played it, so maybe it does have all those things.
I've said I was passing, so I don't know.
But you're
passed.
passing.
He passed.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not Deathloop.
Damn.
Yes, it's not Deathloop.
Okay.
I will give you guys a hint.
Uh-huh.
Nice little hint. It's a sci-fi game.
Oh, got it.
Science fiction.
Got it.
Phil, you're going to go first.
Mad I didn't get it. I'm mad I didn't think of it at first. I guess Deathloop is also kind of a science
It
fiction
is,
game
yeah.
when you think about it, you know? I mean, it's like not, but it is.
Definitely
Nah,
is.
it is. It definitely is.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
What is going on in Phil's head right now, you think?
I don't know. I don't know. It's frustrating because I have this shit locked in. Like,
I
there's
definitely
no
don't-
other
and
choice.
once Tavin like says it, like I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, unless I can like think of the game, you know.
Yep. Hey. You can think of it, but are you? I don't know.
It's a great question.
I've
And
been...
I don't think I will. So Tavin,
Damn. Not even a guess?
He's just blanking
You
real hard.
throw it to the wall.
He can't even grab a 21 game right now. That's what's
no,
funny.
it's that I mean I can grab a 21 game. It's just not going to be correct.
Connor, the answer is Cyberpunk 2077.
Haha, it's not.
Oh, fuck, that's a 2020
Damn.
game, isn't
So
it?
confident. So confident.
What the fuck is the answer?
I believe that was a 2020 game.
Oh, damn.
Well, I had another hint
Uh-huh.
locked in.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to do it because
Oh.
it seems like it gives it away.
Okay.
But Phil, you passed twice. So I think I'm going to have to go with...
Ooh.
You already passed. You already passed.
I
Give us
gotta
the hint.
I understand that. I have to respect that. It is a game that is... You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to narrow it down but not in the way I was going to.
Okay.
It's an RPG.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, I know what it is.
Sci-fi RPG 2021.
Rated M.
Rated M.
Yeah, I know what it is.
2021.
I can read off the.
Yeah, give me the ESRB again.
All right. It is rated M for blood, drug references, partial nudity, sexual content, strong language, use of alcohol, and violence.
Did I play this game?
Yes.
Shit.
Yes, you did. In fact, everybody here played it. I think, Phil?
See, once again, it's like a thing of like 21, good year. Not a very memorable year, though.
That's true. That is true.
RPG, sci-fi, drug, blood, sex. I'm just trying to think of M-rated
Yeah.
science fiction RPGs.
I knew this was going to be a hard game, especially when I added on the year parameter, because that would serve
Yeah.
me. No, not at all.
No, that was before 2020.
Well, we're looking for 2021. Tab.
I know.
That was the error, the issue.
I'm drawing a hard blank here.
Well, I have the answer, I believe.
All right, I'm gonna say it. I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna say Outer Worlds.
It is not Outer Worlds. Phil?
All right. Well, Tavin, unfortunately, Connor was a little tricky with this one because it's a remastered collection. It's Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
It is, in fact, the Mass Effect Legendary
All
Edition.
right, you son of a bitch.
Hey, you can't say I didn't choose a game that you could have gone for. I was a little tricky. That was going to be my next.
That was tricky. I'm not thinking remasters and collections
Yeah.
of games. I'm thinking actual games
know.
that launched that year.
Well, I'll give you guys both a hint. It's not going to be like the rest of this list.
That was some fuck shit.
It was smart shit. But, Phil, that's a specific game, so that's going to net you 2 points. On to the next one. Phil, you're going to be able to guess first. This is a game.
I'm ready.
2013. It is rated M also for blood and gore, intense violence, mature humor, nudity, strong language, strong sexual content, use of drugs, and alcohol.
Fuck, 2013.
Okay, I have my guess. Do I have to wait for Tavin?
So fucking
Yeah, let
long
Tavin think of
ago.
it.
Wait, I'm sorry. So 2013, give it to me again?
Rated M for blood and gore, intense violence, mature humor, nudity, strong language, strong sexual content, use of drugs, and alcohol.
Okay, I have my guess.
Okay, Phil, go first.
Red Dead Redemption.
Nope.
Tavin,
Grand Theft Auto 5.
you're on the scoreboard, Tavin.
There it
with
is.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Red Dead Redemption released in 2010. That's actually one that I would have known.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I had
Cool
to.
game.
The way I got there is I was like, all right, 2013 M rated. What the fuck came out that year? Last of Us. I'm like, Last of Us doesn't really have drugs and alcohol in it, so it can't be that. And I was like, what else came out that year? Well, Last of Us came out same year as Grand Theft Auto 5. Boom.
Damn,
yeah,
that's an old game. That's crazy.
Yeah, 10 years.
No, I was saying Red Dead. It's even older.
Oh yeah.
You can see it in how the games look.
I thought that was an 09 game.
10. I remember 10 because, the Game of the Year awards that year, for some reason, they were like, there's so many good games, we're going to add like 8 entries. This is before the video game
Keeleys,
awards
yeah.
that we know about. It was the Spikes Video Game Award. But
Which Keeley's done that recently too in the last like 3 years. He added more slots. 'Cause you need more slots. Not enough slots.
sometimes you do.
I mean, there's not enough slots. I agree.
Let me put something in your slot, Connor.
what do you...
What?
And he just might.
Yeah, what is he doing
And
today?
he
Like,
just might let you.
bringing up Rocky. Wait, what?
Get to the next round.
Okay. Going back to 2021. This is a game that is rated. This is Tavin's first turn. It's rated E10 plus for alcohol reference, animated blood, fantasy violence.
E10?
Indeed.
I didn't even know they still made that.
Yeah, E10 and up.
E10.
All right, well, I'm gonna. I mean, I just can't think of. I can't think of another one.
I have two possible answers.
Well,
Yeah, I've
that's
got
good to have one loaded up.
All right, well, I'm going first.
Yes.
All right, I'm just gonna shoot Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
And Phil?
I'm gonna say Psychonauts 2.
Ah, that's a better one. Damn it.
It's not a better one because it is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Hey,
Both good guesses.
should have
Both
been
good guesses.
Psychonauts too. That's a better answer for that descriptor.
Honestly, if I were to look it up, they probably have the exact same
Probably.
rating, possibly for the same reasons. But we got two more left, so let's get through them. The next one is going to be very, very recent. 2023. It is a game that is rated T for blood, drug reference, mild language, and violence. Phil, it's your turn first.
Can you read those off again?
Sure. It's rated T, 2023. It's rated that for blood, drug reference, mild language, and violence.
Blood,
Drug reference.
mild language, drug references, and violence. Rated
Tavin's
T, huh?
pondering. Rated T.
Yeah, that's
T
what
for T.
that makes it difficult because you don't get too many T games anymore either. I'm trying to think of last year. I have
Blood
an
reference.
answer, but I don't love it.
But it is an answer. So at least
It
you
is
got
an
it.
answer. No, there's boobies in that game, so that would be rated M. I'm trying to think of my top 10 list.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to think of these lists sometimes when you're not close to it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's gone
It
away.
really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just so focused
I-
on this year, you know?
I know.
Give me the list one more time.
Sure. 2023 game rated T for blood, drug reference, mild language, and violence.
Mild language.
It's like I have one, but I'm trying to remember a different one just in case I could be wrong.
But hey, the last time you had an answer, you didn't know if it was right or wrong. You were right. You were a little bit tenuous on Ratchet and
Kevin,
Clank.
just go ahead and guess the Dead Space remake, dude. Just go ahead.
Yeah, you know what, Phil? Crossed my mind. Crossed my mind. EA, you fucking cowards.
I mean, I don't think this
Oh,
is right,
yeah.
but I have a guess.
Hey, shoot.
It's your turn.
Oh, yeah, I don't have-
Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, that's a
like
good
this.
one, Phil. That's the one I was missing. I was going to guess Spider-Man 2, but I don't think that's right.
Oh, is that your guess?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
No. Well, you're right. It is Spider-Man 2.
There it is.
Look at that. You guys both have good answers.
No drugs in Hogwarts, you know? No drugs.
No
I-
drugs.
yeah. I mean, unless you count medicine.
I guess, yeah.
They probably, yeah.
What a mid-ass
Potions.
fucking game, bro.
What?
I'll say Rise of the Ronin is this year's Hogwarts Legacy.
I mean,
Fair enough.
You're not wrong.
Listen, I played about the same amount of time in both of them.
Based off how you guys talk about it, it seems like it is. At least with
I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'd rather pick Rise of the Ronin back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the opposite.
No. No.
Well, Tavin, you won. But Phil, let's close that gap. Let's close that gap. So much so, you're going to go first.
Again?
Isn't it just?
Wow.
Isn't it just 1 to 2?
No, I'm I won 3 rounds, you won 1.
Yeah, 6-2. So, the
Because
score
we're
is
getting 2 points apiece.
for the exact game.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've got the last one right here. A 2007 game.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yes.
This game, yes, maybe this will narrow it down a lot more. It is rated AO for adults
Oh,
only.
fuck off.
Oh.
For blood and gore, intense violence, strong language, strong sexual content, use of drugs. There's only a couple games that have been named.
But no, we don't fucking know them.
Yes, you do. I'd be surprised if you guys didn't. It's kind of I'd be more surprised if Tavin didn't know it. I'd be less surprised if you, Phil.
I've got an idea, but I don't think it was 2007. I thought it was 2011 or something.
You're not keeping track of the adult-only games?
No, Connor, I'm not. Also, 2007, I was fucking 10 years old.
What's the list
Your fault.
again?
2007, rated adult only for blood and gore, intense violence, strong language, strong sexual content, and use of drugs. People shooting up. I guess. I never played the game. That's your other thing?
I legitimately have no idea.
This is a game where even though I never played it, It appeared multiple times on XPlay, I want to say, over that on G4. And so I was always like, wow, that game. I wish I could play that game, and I never did. Apparently, it's a pretty good one.
Not a chance.
No,
not a chance.
I'm gonna say it's my guess first, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The violence makes me think it's Manhunt. So I'm gonna say I think Manhunt 2 was. No, I'm just gonna say Manhunt. I'll get the 1 point.
Tavin?
Now, adults only. That's the one that's above the M rating, right? Yeah. I don't know. There was some shitty. I swear to God, this was like 2011. There was some like shitty ass biker game.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just
The
don't know what it's
broken
called.
one, right?
Yeah, it was like hella broken and like
Yes.
it tried to be super edgy and shit. I don't even know if it was AO, but that's my thing. Is that shitty?
I'm
biker
fairly
game.
certain that game was AO, but I don't know if it was 2011. I
Right
think it
to
was-
hell,
might have been
right
early.
to.
I think it is. I think you're right. I think it is
Yeah,
Ride to Hell.
something like that.
Retribution, I think it had a tagline.
Oh, Ride to Hell Retribution. That's
seems right.
That's doing it for me. That's doing it for me.
But, Phil, you were right. You do get 1 point.
Oh wow.
It is Manhunt 2 specifically.
Nice.
You obviously saying Manhunt. It was originally, when it first came out, AO. And I believe they changed it later on. I think the
M.
developers messed with some stuff to
It's
get it
Rockstar,
off that
right?
rating. You know what?
Yes.
I want to say it was.
Yes, that sounds right. Guys, we nailed it. We pieced it all together with all of our
Ride to Hell
all of our
Retribution.
group thinking. Ride to Hell Retribution 2013, 19%
shit.
on Metacritic, and a 1.4 on IMDb.
God damn.
I would
I thought that was
assume-
earlier for some reason. I thought that was like 2010.
Oh man, one of the worst. I just remember the Angry Joe review because this is
Yes,
when
I
Angry
know.
Joe was
Yeah.
popping of this game. Holy shit!
And Manhunt was Rockstar. They're the proprietors of that IP. Why haven't they done anything with it?
Where's
Probably 'cause the
Agent?
last one got an adult
Where's
on-
Rockstar's Agent?
Whatever.
You know?
Wait, what?
Let me get Rockstar Table Tennis 2.
I'm saying
Grand Theft Auto Chinatown.
they did that.
Yeah.
Chinatown
there you go.
Wars.
I said Agent.
Oh, Agent. Well,
Yes,
like,
it was supposed to be a PlayStation 3 exclusive game that just quietly got canceled.
a Grand Theft Auto game getting canceled.
Actually, Agent,
Not a Grand Theft Auto
Agent
game.
is what. Agent
Just
is
called
your- is
Agent.
your-
Oh, it was a
Agent
Rockstar
is what,
game.
Yes.
is what the name of is what the narrator calls you in Crackdown. So
Who played?
I can't
Crackdown?
believe they brought Crackdown back.
I played Crackdown. I played.
Yeah,
I
okay.
play. I've played maybe an hour and a half of Crackdown 2, but I completed Crackdown 1 and 3.
Wasn't 3 bad? It was a new one, I know. But
3 was much better than 2.
oh, really?
Really?
I thought 2 was the
Yeah,
good
I
one.
thought 2 was the good one.
Nah, I like Crackdown 1 better than 2.
But it's like the zeitgeist. People thinking that 2's the best.
I always heard 2 was everybody's favorite.
No, I like Crackdown 3 a lot.
And then Crackdown
don't
3
know.
came out and everybody went, why are we doing this?
didn't it
No,
have
Nobody was like, they weren't like, this is bad. They were just like, this
Right.
is from 7 years ago. Why are we doing this?
Terry
don't wanna
Crews
collect
was the main
orbs
character,
anymore.
wasn't he?
He was in this all the cinematics,
Yeah.
but he
Terry
was
Crews.
the
Oh, yeah.
he was your probably the best playable character you could pick.
Playable. I thought you created your own. Guess this
There's
shows you how
a-
much I know about Crackdown.
Wow, it got on Metacritic. It has a 60.
Seems about right from how I remember people talking about it.
User
Crackdown
score
3?
of 4.3.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fans
It was really broken at launch. I remember that.
can't recover from that sometimes.
Yeah. It
And
was
then
bad. It was,
Crackdown,
it was the
the
dark days of
original-
Xbox.
Crackdown, the original, has an 83 on Meta, and the Crackdown 2 has a 70.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay, I
Jesus.
guess we're wrong.
Maybe it was wrong. Okay.
This is definitely one of those Fable things where like everybody talks about it with like a lot of fondness, but if you go back to it, it's like you just had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You just had to be there.
Yeah, I liked Crackdown a lot.
Apparently,
So
that was the game.
Yeah, moving right along to me for this week, I am doing another pre-order.
Thinking
A
cap
pre-order is where we take a franchise or we take a list that's typically less than 10 entries, and we arrange them in a certain order. This case it is based off Metacritic score, and the series that we're arranging, gentlemen, is Halo.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We are arranging the mainline Halo game, so we're not going to see any Halo Wars. We're not going to see any kind of spin-off. These are no Spartan Assault, nothing like that.
No ODST.
ODST and Reach?
No, you know what? I thought about it. I'm actually not including ODST and Reach.
Okay.
Damn, okay.
The Reach is a little crazy. ODST I kind of understand, but Reach is a little crazy.
We are only rating the numbered titles.
Plus Infinite?
Plus, well, Infinity's a number.
Right, but it's not called Infinity. It's called Infinite. And it very much was not an Infinite.
It's a mainline game.
It's a mainline game. All right, Halo 1 through 5, and then...
2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I was right.
So 6. 1 through 6.
Okay. All right.
Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5 Guardians, and Halo Infinite.
So it has to be the bad.
This is actually really hard.
Yeah.
I have no idea how these games did. You're pulling from Metacritic.
Pulling from Metacritic.
I have no clear concept of how these games performed.
I'll say I was surprised at how this list shook out. Read into that however you may.
Yeah, some of these are getting... I was confident, and then I started listing them, and I realized maybe I'm not so confident.
This is hard.
I feel like it's a lot of, 2-point differences and 3-point differences. I feel like they're not that far apart for the most part.
Well, my instincts... I'll talk out some of this. My instincts want to put Halo 5 at the bottom. But, is it? You know?
Yeah.
It is your choice whether you trust your instincts or not.
I'm going to put...
If I were to rank the Halo games myself, at least these 6, I would definitely have 3 at the top.
Mm-hmm.
3 is goated.
3 is goated. I would have to agree. Followed by...
I got mine.
I really just want to talk campaigns for a second. I think Halo 3, followed by Halo 2. Then
Halo 4's mission design wasn't awesome, but Halo 4's story was the best of all of them.
I think 3 still takes the cake.
I think
it really
wins there. Yeah.
He's able to build off its cultural relevance.
Yeah, but by then I think
one,
it's
two,
building
and
off of
three.
fan service, and it's just kind of cheating in some parts. But 3 is still don't get me wrong, a top 3 narrative. But I don't think the narratives in those first 3 games are good.
Halo 1, 2, and 3 as a trilogy is just fucking...
Honestly, I don't think Reach's narrative is good.
That's kind of crazy. I mean,
Reach a
its
lot.
narrative is good in a contained story, as a contained story.
I think it's just really simple, basic military jargon game, and it wants you to feel sad because all your characters die, but it doesn't give you any reason to actually connect to those characters.
I think for 2 of them it did. Emil had cool factor. I guess 3. Cat had...
Cat is the only one that I felt.
I was in no way attached to Emil other than this guy looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
but I thought
you
he
go,
was kind of
he
an
has a
asshole.
skull on his helmet. Okay.
No, he's cool because he had a shotgun and he killed the shit out
But
of
yeah,
things.
George
And he had a big
didn't
he had a big old knife.
He did
George
too, yeah.
didn't care. Carter didn't care.
Yeah, Carter was the least impacted.
Noble 6, just because it's me, but eh.
No, I was...
The only
But
Halo
they
Reach-
also tell you at the beginning of the game that you die.
Halo Reach hater over here.
I am. Yeah. I think Reach is legitimately my least favorite Halo game.
Yeah, I know you said that.
That's crazy. George is the only one of them that I like. So
George was... Yeah, that was
okay.
the one I was thinking of last.
George was okay. I'm ready.
So am I.
Noble 5, George.
The oldest.
All right. Well, boys, I want to start with Connor's list.
Hey, I got done first. This is
Starting
my
from
birthday.
number 6, going down to number 1.
And my list is as follows. Halo 5, number 6. Number 5, Halo Infinite. Number 4, Halo Combat Evolved. Number 3, Halo 4. Number 2, Halo 2. Number 1, Halo 3.
That was bottom up.
Yeah.
That was bottom up.
You said 5 infinite, 1, 4, 2, 3.
1, 4, 2, 3. Yep.
Yeah, I have the exact same list.
Y'all are tied at 2 points each.
Fuck.
Damn.
We did the same shit last time.
Damn it. Okay, well. 2 points.
2
okay.
points.
We only
Wow.
got 2.
Yeah. So feel free to go ahead and rearrange
Yeah.
your lists and see if you can improve them. The only hint I will give you is just because it should be obvious. Halo 5 is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, okay. So Infinite needs to move.
I think I'm good. Wouldn't it be funny if we both got the same one again?
That would be pretty funny if y'all tied again. That would be the second time in a row that this happened because y'all did the exact same thing last week.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do.
Though I think our thought processes are going to be different on this one, so I don't think we'll.
Yeah,
run
I
into
mean,
that.
I'm gonna do.
last week with the tactics games, y'all rearranged different things, but still ended up with the same outcome.
Yeah.
Shit, this is crazy.
Not this time. It's having going.
I have zero faith in my list here, but I'm shooting for it.
All right,
Uh,
all right.
So
Connor, just to go ahead. Sorry.
I was
you're
gonna
saying?
start. I was gonna start.
Oh, you want to start?
Yeah.
I was going to keep it consistent, but yeah,
I mean,
go ahead, Tavin.
Sure, whatever.
Hit me with it.
Bottom of the list, of course, Halo 5 Guardians.
Yep.
And then I have Halo 1, and then I have Halo Infinite, Halo 2, Halo 4, Halo 3.
We have different lists. Woohoo!
All right, Connor, hit me with what yours is.
Down to the top. 6, Halo 5. 5, Halo Infinite. 4, Halo 4. 3, Halo 2. 2, Halo 1. 1, Halo 3.
So you're just trying to get to the third point because you kept Infinite in the same spot. And you know
Yeah,
that's
because I don't
wrong.
think I think 4 would have done better review wise, and I think 2, 1, and 3 are so classic that they kind of have. I see Metacritic do sometimes where they'll have like
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus.
The
up
older
high.
games get
Things like
higher
that.
than
Can you,
they should
can you
be.
do me a favor, Connor? Can you give me your list one more time?
Sure. It's 6, Halo 5. 5, Halo Infinite. 4, Halo 4. 3, Halo 2. 2, Halo Combat Evolved. 1, Halo 3.
All right, and then Tavin, I believe I have yours as well, but just for posterity, go ahead and give me yours again.
From the bottom, I have Halo 5, Halo Combat Evolved, Halo Infinite, Halo 2, Halo 4, Halo 3.
All right, well, Connor, your score has changed.
Oh boy. Mine hasn't.
Tavin's score has not changed. Tavin, you still have 2 points. Connor,
one
however,
less.
you only have 1 point.
Damn. So Halo 3 was the right. Well, Halo 5 was the right one. Ah.
Yeah, he told us that. Halo 5 at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, for a second, I was like, wait.
Do you not have Halo 3 at the top?
I do.
Oh, wait.
No, I never said Halo 3 was the top.
Yeah. you never
Oh,
said
okay.
that.
So that's what's wrong. Oh, okay. Wait.
That's why it confused me.
So
at
I
first.
still have 2, even though I switched things around.
Mm-hmm.
It just works like that sometimes.
Interesting.
The only correct spots that you had, Tavin, you have Halo 5 Guardians at number 6, and then you
So
have
we're
Halo
calling
Infinite
it
number
there.
4.
I won.
You won.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, because you had 2 points.
You suck.
And then Halo Infinite was at number 4, which is correct.
Ah, okay. Give us
And
the
what
give
position?
us the list.
Yeah, I will go ahead and give you the list right now. Starting from 6 going down, we have Halo 5 Guardians, followed by Halo 4 at number 5.
Wow.
At number 4, we have Halo Infinite.
Mhm.
At number 3, Halo 3.
Damn.
At number
Yeah,
2,
old games. Old games.
Old games.
Halo 2. And number 1, Halo Combat Evolved.
The worst part was I almost did Combat Evolved at 1, but I was like, there's no way.
There's
it would
no.
be
I
that.
was like, surely
And
2 or 3 did
that's-
better than 1.
That's what I'm saying, and that I was surprised, right? So
Yeah.
let me go ahead and give you their scores real quick. So Halo Combat Evolved has a 97 on Metacritic.
Gee.
That's ridiculous.
We played that recently.
That's
It-
ridiculous.
I was up on it way more than these two guys were. It's not 97.
It's not a 90.
Just like how Shadow of the Colossus
97.
wasn't. What is that? 98 or something ridiculous number?
Oh, it's not a 98.
No, I think it's like a 90.
I was going to say 93, 92.
Yeah.
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 Old game
I think
syndrome.
that's okay for Shadow. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not what I
Not
personally
egregious.
think of it, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Halo 2 has a 95 on Metacritic.
That's kind of crazy.
Sorry, I should
can
mention
understand that one.
mention the user score for Halo Combat Evolved, 8.7 user score. User score for Halo 2 is 8.9. Halo 3 is a 94 on Metacritic, so we're only going down by 1 point after that. So that's 8.8 user score. Then we have Halo. This is in series. So Halo 4 was an 87 on Metacritic with a 7.1 user score. Halo 5 Guardians is an 84 on Metacritic with a 6.4 user score. And then, actually tied with Halo 4, but a better user score is Halo Infinite with an 87, but a 7.8 user score as opposed to a 7.1.
You know,
I'll say
Halo's...
the 343 games are overhated. In some ways, they're better than the original trilogy. In some ways.
But overall, you would say...
Overall, I think the
Bottom,
original trilogy is better.
Yeah.
But
Some of them, some of the games like they just play better.
yeah. I mean,
feel better to
I
play.
legitimately think 4 and Infinite are better than Halo 1.
It's probably true.
Probably about
Like,
even with
they
Halo
at
2.
least feel better to play. I would agree. Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
Hey,
that just comes with being modern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they got a good track record, though. I mean, nothing below an 80. All
Yeah.
Around mid-80s. Most games I don't think have.
Yeah.
I'll say
I mean, the
Halo
lowest
5.
one is in-
Halo 5 played awesome. Halo 5 was a
the
blast
multiplayer
to
in that
play.
game was awesome. I love the I can't remember what they called it. Warzone, is that what it was?
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
little weird, but yeah, I was into it.
I loved it.
I was
loved
into it. I liked that they were experimenting. They were trying to find new identity and so forth. But yeah,
That was a
I
blast.
I legitimately think, like, if I turn my nostalgia for Halo 3 off, Infinite might be my favorite.
Wow.
Guess we'll find out eventually.
I don't think I could agree.
Neither could I.
I don't like the weapon selection of 2. And that's what holds it back for me. And I don't know. They're just not aging well. Those first 3 games, they're not aging well. You know, like you put that controller in a new player's hands, and they're gonna go ugh. You know?
No, I don't.
I simply cannot wait for them to get ported to PlayStation. Anyway, moving on. Tavin, what do you have for us this week?
Well, gentlemen, I want to bring a bit of a conversational minigame for this week. I, of course, come from hip-hop. And what we do in hip-hop is we always talk about what's the greatest. You know, we have top 10 lists, top 5 lists, top 3s, 20s, 50s, all that type of thing. And right now, it is heavily contentious in the sphere of hip-hop, of course. Somebody, you know, the people are going for that top spot. And so I've always felt that hip hop and video games have a lot in common. And so I've always wanted to be ranking things, but when you get to minutia of ranking individual games, it gets really complicated. So I was like, well, can we rank something in games to where you understand their influence, you understand their catalog, you know, to kind of create an equivalent between rappers.
Connor was so distracting there. I was still listening to what you were saying. He was so distracting to me.
He's a fucking piece of shit. And so I feel like ranking catalog, ranking influence, ranking impact, all of those things make sense when you go to game dev studios. You know, now game development not as inherently competitive as hip hop is, but I still think this would be a fun conversation. So, gentlemen, I have 5 game dev studios that I've written down. And I want us to rank these 5 game dev studios. And if we have fun with this topic, we'll bring it back. I'll bring another 3 to 5 studios in, and we'll add them to this list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we'll create a definitive top 20, top 50, whatever game dev studio list eventually.
Yeah, I'm
you
down
know?
for it.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, the list that I have right now, or the ones that I want us to rank today, and if we only get 3 deep in conversation, fine. But you know, I think we could probably pretty easily do all 5 if we get to 3. I have Naughty Dog, I have From Software, I have BioWare, I have Bungie, and I have Insomniac Games.
I was waiting for it. I was like, oh, if he doesn't include Insomniac here, it's going to be
It's
an
a-
issue.
Insomniac, it was originally going to be Santa Monica Studios, but I'm the only one who's played
Yeah.
all of like the old God of Wars and stuff, So I was like, well, that doesn't like add up. So I switched him out for Insomniac because Connor's Insomniac knowledge is a little more limited. You dabbled in Resistance?
No. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, I dabbled. I barely played it because I didn't have a PlayStation. So
Okay.
I played it when I got the chance to because I did enjoy that game.
All right. Well, then
Each time I picked it up.
Insomniac a bit of a blind spot for you, but me and Phil can kind of fill in those holes, and then you, of course, will fill in the holes for From Software.
We will
Yeah.
illuminate.
So, gentlemen, where do we want to start this conversation?
I think Insomniac because Insomniac, I think out of all of, I can't say it's the best.
Right.
It's going to rank number one.
Okay.
That'll come with later in the discussion.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're not only the most formative out of all the game studios, but I feel like they've been the most consistent over many years. From Software definitely has
Early
has an
From
argument there.
Software days are a little rough.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you had Armored Core, which were always very well liked and well made, but
To a
everything
point,
else,
Armored
yeah.
Core like 4
Very
and 5
niche.
aren't like super
niche too, yeah.
super loved. So, especially 5, I think is like a 60 something on Metacritic.
I think until you get to like your late 2000s to like the 2010s is when you really start to see where FromSoft starts to attract attention outside of their niche.
Yeah, it's that Dark Souls. Once that Dark Souls 1 hits, Demon Souls a little bit, but really Dark Souls when
Yeah.
Dark Souls hits. So I agree with you, Connor. I think Insomniac has the greatest overall legacy with this. They're the most consistent, but they don't have the highest highs. You
No,
know?
they do not.
Like I love the old Ratchet and Clank games. The PS3 Insomniac era was a little like just okay. Resistance is cool for those who like Resistance. The Ratchet games, nobody like loves the PS3 Ratchet games like that. And then of course Sunset Overdrive on early Xbox One type thing. That's kind of the era where like Insomniac. It's not like a dark era, but it's just kind of like a unremarkable era for them.
Which you have to admit is impressive in the sense that other game developers were kind of starting to wane. You were getting some not so great games. Obviously, you were getting them every single year, but there were a lot of stinkers, I think, around that time. And so,
Well,
or unremarkable
sorry,
ones, I should say, at the least.
Sorry to interrupt. However, Tavin, I cannot help but realize that when you're talking about Insomniac, you neglect to go further back than the PS2.
Spyro, I was
Yeah.
getting there. I was going to say Spyro is also in that conversation. And we will return to Spyro when we address the Naughty Dog situation, right?
Well, and I mean, why? Just
Jak and
because
Daxter.
Spyro and Crash, or what?
Well, I think we just
Okay.
need to. Yeah, I think that conversation leads a little bit more. But like, let's focus on these two right now. I like where we are with the Insomniac and From Software right now. Like, let's put one over the other here, and then we'll add the rest in here.
Sure.
Connor, I don't know, man. It's hard. Like peak From Software.
Is big from
Elden
Software.
Ring.
Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Armored Core 6, like these are bangers. These are bangers. And Insomniac has some bangers, but not to that level. But Insomniac also doesn't have any stinkers. And From Software does have stinkers. They haven't had any recently. In the last decade, they have not had a stinker. But they do have stinkers. So it's like a thing of like, what are we valuing more? Catalog legacy, consistency, or I don't know if Insomniac, this might be a little blasphemous. I don't know if Insomniac has a classic game.
I think they definitely do. I think the Spyro and Ratchet and Clank games, that kind of
Those are
locked them in as
instant
being a
classics,
studio to
dude.
remember. Yeah.
I don't think so. Because to me, when you say classic and you're talking about those old games, it's ones that you can still go back to and go, I get it. I don't know if a kid loads up old Ratchet games, I don't know if they get it.
Really?
Yeah. Or if a player today loads up an old Ratchet game, like I think they'll be like, this is fun, but it's dated. Like Spyro, I get it. It's of its era, but I don't think any of the Spyros are classic games. I think they're good games, and I think in a lot of ways they still hold up, but I don't think they're classic games.
I mean, that kind of connects me to the point that I keep coming back to, which from Soft Shill, is it's the Souls games,
Yeah.
it's Bloodborne, it's Sekiro. They've been able to branch out farther while still retaining a thing that makes them identifiable by their game. Whereas even though Insomniac makes good games,
Yeah.
they aren't like you can't pick up an Insomniac game and instantly know without the title card.
I think
it's an Insomniac game.
I legitimately think Spider-Man 1 is going to go down as their first real classic.
I still think that can't be said when Spyro and Ratchet stick
No.
out because it's still
I
considered a
think-
classic, even if it's not something that people can pick up today and do as well. We can say the
I'll
same thing
give
about
you-
Mario 64.
I do think that Ratchet is higher in like the talks for, at least for like, even then I can't even say that because I feel like
But
they're
like
so
Ratchet
close together in terms
Ratchet
of
and
like
Clank
their
fans
classic.
cannot decide on a definitive this is the best Ratchet game. Like it's a toss up between them.
It's real. I think if anything, it's really a toss up between 2 and 3 for most of them.
I would agree with that, but like the fact that we can't be like, oh, but that one, you know. Whereas like, I mean,
just did it.
like let's compare it to the From Software catalog. Not in the golden age of From Software, not all of them are classics. As much as I love it, Sekiro is probably not going to go down as a classic. Dark Souls 2 is not going to go down as a classic. Demon Souls is not a classic. Armored Core 6, I don't think is going to go down as a classic. I think you hit Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne and Elden Ring. Yeah. I think those are all classics.
Which given, I mean, I was still from Soft Show. I'm erring on the side of saying it's from Soft because ultimately, even if we have the conversation with Legacy and how much disregarding what From Software will be considered later on down the line, and giving that win to Ratchet and Clank, Insomniac games. Ultimately, I think when you just look at the games on their own value, From Software still comes out on top, which I think kind of matters more than just comparing it to Legacy. Well, I want to interestingly compare. This is going to be.
I mean, you brought up Mario 64, but Mario 64 is more impactful, more influential, and more necessary to the overall story of video games, the history of video games, than any singular Ratchet and Clank game.
Which, I mean, that's the thing. If we were doing Nintendo versus From Software, I think From Software is a better developer because I like their games more, but I'd give it to Nintendo for those reasons that you just laid out.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that same weight is carried with Insomniac, despite its legacy, when compared to the exact titles that From Software releases.
Phil, where are you at? I think me and Connor are landing on From Software ahead of Insomniac here. Where are you at? You are the least equipped with the catalog of the three of us, but you're the most when it comes to Insomniac?
Insomniac, yeah. The only series I think of Insomniacs that I haven't played is Resistance.
I touched Resistance 1. I think you and I rented it back in the day, and it's not, nah.
It's really fun.
It's not. And then I think there was a game that Insomniac came out sometime between Spyro 3 and the first Ratchet game that I can't. Was that one? They made a special weapon, like one of the screen Zodiac. That's what
I don't know what this is.
Zodiac.
I don't know what this is at all.
It was an Insomniac game. I haven't played it, but that's another one that's on the list for Insomniac that I just haven't played.
I thought you were about to go. I forget the full title, but Rocket on Wheels. That's their game. That's their PS1 game, or maybe it was like an Nintendo game or something. But that's their pre-Spyro.
Oh no, this is between Spyro and
Okay.
Ratchet.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But no,
I
never
legit
played
thought it went Spyro straight into Ratchet.
It's funny you think that because Zodiac wasn't very well received. So,
We don't talk about that one.
So yeah. I because of the group, I wouldn't necessarily put FromSoft in front of Insomniac, but because of that's kind of where the group is, I'm not gonna argue against it.
Yeah. I like Insomniac games more, but I can't deny the run that From Software has been on for the last 15 years has been unmatched.
Yeah.
You know, so it hurts. But all right. So let's lock that in. Insomniac 2 from Software 1 right here, gentlemen. We have Naughty Dog, BioWare, and Bungie. Where do we want to go from? Who do we want to bring into this conversation of those three?
Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
The reason why is this is a sin against my mortal soul, and I'll be damned to hell. I think it should go above From Software.
Wow.
I think there's a couple reasons why. It is entirely hinging upon Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter.
Thank you.
Both those games, Jak and
put some
Daxter in the
respect on
realm.
their name.
He's saying he has no like. He's never. Those are the two franchises he hasn't touched.
Well, no, it's hinging on that and making it win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
go on, Phil. I have my thoughts all.
I was saying put some respect on their names. My boy, the orange marsupial, the orange Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot, hopping on with these platforming amazing games. Yeah, and then you jump from Crash into Jak and Daxter, still sticking to the platforming at least for one game, and then moving on to a kind of open world
Action shooter game.
Action shooter, which that I love.
My thing about it is
move on from Jak to Uncharted.
Yeah.
And then from Uncharted, you go Last of Us.
Yeah. And that's where I am. Is I know you feel differently about Last of Us 2, but I would say both Last of Us games I think are the best ones in the conversation. Period.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, I think Last of Us 1. Both of them have legacies.
Yeah.
One of them is more impactful than the other, which is Naughty Dog's role in narrative games.
Yeah.
It got pushed heavily after Last of Us. Now, I would say that is a criticism because I feel like the diving into a narrative-focused kind of detracted from some gameplay elements of other games like Spider-Man, like, to a certain extent, a lot less so, God of War, particularly Ragnarok. But it's still, even though it's an impact that I don't personally like, obviously it's a positive one to a lot of people, and it was one that was impactful enough for other game developers to say, hey, we're going to follow this a lot more than we originally had, which is to say narratives. And then you include Uncharted, which you made an interesting point a while ago about how the legacy of it is kind of dimmed after a while.
Yeah. Uncharted's legacy is being eroded. And I understand the original trilogy, I think, are becoming like the way those three games are aging. It's definitely you kind of had to be there experience. But what specifically Uncharted 2 did for the set piece in video games. Like, you talk about God of War 2 from back in the day. You talk about, maybe Metal Gear, but like not nearly to the same level. Or some Final Fantasy games. Some Final Fantasy games are in that conversation as well. But what Uncharted 2 did for the set piece, where it's like, hey, the world is going to be crumbling around you, and you're still playing. Like, you are in it. We're not zooming out. We're not putting you in QuickTime events. You are controlling it just how you control the other 90% of the game. Is impressive. Like, that was like, you think of when the building falls over in Uncharted 2. You think of when you get to the I forget what the name of the Forgotten City is. But when you get to the Forgotten City and all the purple men are jumping around. Shangri-La?
I think it is, yeah.
Maybe. And there's that moment where like you're on a platform that's like sliding through the city. And then, of course, was
it Shangri-La or Shambhala?
Shambhala, that's what it was.
Yeah.
The convoy sequence, I still think, is one of the best convoy sequences in video games, period. And then, of course, the train.
3 topped it.
The convoy? Yeah. I'm not mad at that. Convoy in 3 is better. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the train is better than the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Train is better than the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
overall, 2 is better in that.
Yeah,
in that regard.
but still epic moments in 3 to talk about. Now let's talk about legacy as a whole and their older stuff. I think Crash Bandicoot is undeniably important when you talk about 3D platformers and how we engage in them and giving us those stepping stones to where we are today. Jack, I've been on record a bunch. Jack 1 is a fine game. I think Jack 2 is a bad game. Jack 3 is a good game. It's good. So I'm not a fan of Jack and Daxter. I think if anything, Jack and Daxter holds this conversation back, except for The Last of Us. I think there is a clear pre and post Last of Us world when you talk about game development. And you see its influence everywhere. You can kind of give that conversation to Dark Souls. Also, there is a pre and post Dark Souls world. But I think what Last of Us did is a bigger impact than what Dark Souls did.
And that's because narrative goes across every single video game that can be made. And so it has
all the way
reach everywhere.
All the way to like Final Fantasy VII Remake series is clearly taking notes from The Last of Us. Clearly, I think in the way that they write their characters and tell their story. Still keeping the Final Fantasy isms of it, but like the quality of writing, like I think is undeniably way better than most Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
So I think Last of Us is a direct result of that. So I like legitimately I think Naughty Dog has just about the same level of consistency as an Insomniac, but they also have those major highs of a From Software, and I think those two combined puts them at 1 right now.
I would have to agree. So I think, Connor, if you would agree, if you don't have an objection, I think that would make the list Naughty Dog, From Software, Insomniac.
No, yeah, I think in terms of the games, From Software does a better job, but all the three other reasons we stated, I think puts it just slightly over From Software.
From Software games undeniably play better.
Because you've already
Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, like they play better than Naughty Dog games, and that's a ding against Naughty Dog games in the PS3 era and on, is that their games don't play super well. I think that really only stands with Uncharted. Uncharted does have really basic, sometimes boring gameplay, but I think both Last of Us games have very engaging gameplay. Yeah. 2 especially, I think, has phenomenal gameplay. So yeah, let's do there. All right.
Well, Tavin, not to like cut you off, we are currently running slightly long. So do we want to cut it there at the top 3, and then we can add on to it later? How do we feel about that?
How quickly do we think we could get through the conversation of BioWare and Bungie? Those legacies are a little more complicated.
I think quicker.
You think quicker?
I'm having fun with this conversation, so I'm down to just.
I mean, it's not even that I'm not having fun. I just, I'm trying to think about the length of this video.
Fuck it, let's do it. Who cares?
I think it's because it's Bungie now, BioWare, and that was it.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the last 2. Yeah.
I
want to talk BioWare.
Yeah,
I agree.
BioWare's on the bottom. It has to be. It's failed so miserably. Like, it had a good run of 3 games, and that's what is carrying the entire thing. Compared to Bungie with Halo, it's Halo.
I give them 5 games, man. Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Inquisition are in that conversation as well.
But enough to trump Halo? I just don't. I just can't
also, KOTOR. Jade Empire.
Well. Yes.
There's something before that I can't think of right now.
That is true. That is
true. And then you go to Bungie and you think Halo and then Destiny.
Yeah.
Which
in Destiny 1 and 2 are heavy hitters. Those are heavy hitter games.
Which that's kind of where I'm still saying that Bungie's above it, because with just 2 franchises, it's able to be comparable to BioWare without the massive issue of having bad games in the last couple of years. I mean, the fall of grace is so significant, more so than I think almost any other game studio. And I think that just holds it back from saying, oh, Bungie, who have consistently done a good job with everything they've touched in recent years. Obviously, they had the game before Halo. Everyone has their start. I'm assuming if we were to go back to BioWare, they wouldn't have like top 10, like a 10 rated game.
Bungie doesn't have a KOTOR. Bungie doesn't have a Mass Effect trilogy. But
it does have the Master Chief Collection. Both of those are so significant that they were able to have their own catalog.
But there's okay. So how, okay. Well, let's pause here and let's. How do we want to handle this conversation? Do we want to just compare Bungie and BioWare and then fit them into the list? Like put one above the other and then put those 2 in the list somewhere else, or do we want to attack one and put them in the list right now?
I say we go ahead and compare and contrast Bungie with BioWare, and then we can
Okay.
kind of figure out, we can kind of stick things in between from there,
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I get what you're saying with Bungie. I think Bungie's worst game is a 7, and BioWare's worst game is clearly like a 5. Like BioWare has those dips in quality. You talk about Anthem, you talk about Mass Effect Andromeda, you talk about Dragon Age 2. Those dips, they exist. But those peaks, man, those peaks are fucking crazy. KOTOR is a 10 out of 10 video game. I've been on record. I don't think any singular Mass Effect game is a 10 out of 10, but the franchise as a whole is. And I don't feel that way about
They
Halo.
all come together and bring itself the way up,
Yeah, I don't feel that way about Bungie's Halo works, where like, are any of the Halos under Bungie a 10? I don't think so. They're all arguably more influential than any BioWare game, but I think as a works, BioWare Prime is better than Bungie Prime.
I can't endorse that due to the fact that they had also, even without including their streak of failures, Mass Effect 3 completely fumbled the ending atrociously. And I think, but see, even then, it's like I think that's the most pathetic cop out shit you can do is to be like, have an ending that's so bad that you have to go and rewrite it, and not even rewrite it in a way that makes you go, "Wow, this ending's amazing." It's like, oh, it's not shit anymore. Which, when you also don't capitalize off your what your games did, Mass Effect 1 and 2, in any really interesting way.
Well, let's
3,
not do it. Hold on. There's Mass Effect 3 does capitalize off of the original 2, literally up until those last 15 minutes.
which is the problem because it's everything that's been building up to. Is how does this encounter with the Reapers play out?
Even at launch, that was the conversation. Is 95% of Mass Effect 3 was the best game ever.
Sure.
Until that ending. And then you look back at the game as a whole and you start seeing all of the compromises that they were making in the gameplay, in the narrative choices, and all these things. But they still delivered on incredible narrative moments. Morden's spoilers, I guess. Cut it off now if you don't want to know. But Morden's death, come on, man. Liara's arc, phenomenal. What they do with Garrus in that game, incredible. Even the characters that they introduce in that game, James Vega and Samantha Trainer are great characters. They're great. And like, I don't know, man. Like in some ways, Mass Effect 3 is my favorite BioWare game. In a lot of ways it's not, but in some ways it is.
Not even mentioning the Citadel DLC.
Oh, dude. Yeah, give me any DLC pack for a Mass Effect over any DLC pack from Halo. Granted, that's just really map packs, but, still.
Which, goes into the next thing. Halo, not only being an iconic franchise, but it changed not only first-person shooters, but multiplayer as well. Which I think the issue with BioWare is I could argue for that with how the choices affect, go into effect and whatnot, but I don't think that was capitalized on the same way that what made
you
Halo
haven't
was
really
capitalized.
seen it since.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And to even jump off of that with Halo, they did it again with Destiny.
Yeah.
And how Destiny
live
works?
service games.
Live service. They refined that model. I always say GTA 5 was really the first live service game of consequence, but Destiny went through the ringer. In Destiny, they figured out everything that was wrong and everything that was right, and they made all the mistakes so that other people could propel in front of them.
Even then, they made mistakes with Destiny 1. I remember endgame stuff was lame.
It was lame.
But then when you compare that, I compare that situation with Mass Effect's failure with Mass Effect 3's ending. And this is unfair because the nature of live service games makes it a lot more acceptable.
Destiny had more opportunity.
It did far more opportunity.
Yeah.
You can't. It's harder to retcon and change up a narrative, especially one people had followed for years and had hyped up the ending to, compared to a game that didn't have that element but just started playing better and having more content.
The Taken King, the Taken King does more than what the Taken King does more for Destiny 1 than the extended cut DLC, and I would probably argue even the Citadel DLC did for Mass Effect 3.
It for Mass Effect 3, yeah. I think so. With this, how this conversation's going, go ahead and stop me if you disagree. I'm feeling like we're leaning Bungie over BioWare, but it's close. It's relatively close, but I think that is where we're going to end up.
Yeah, I will probably have to concede here, and say Bungie probably should go ahead of BioWare, but it's dependent upon the different sliders here. The quality of work I think is better on the BioWare side, or in the sense of peaks. I think Mass Effect and KOTOR are better peaks than anything Bungie has ever put out, but influence. You got to give it to Bungie. Sure, BioWare RPG and what that means does influence other RPGs. You look at what Baldur's Gate 3 is now, and you go, oh, Baldur's Gate 3 is literally the Mass Effect trilogy.
Just kind of expounded upon with how
it's the entire trilogy put into one game, essentially. Baldur's Gate also started by Bungie, but we don't know about that, and that's not what you talk about when you talk about BioWare. Did I say Bungie? I meant BioWare.
Yeah, I was like,
we're also like, in a way, when you think about how they kind of they popularized the way that like multiplayer, like first person shooters go, they popularized and how like live service games go. In a way, they kind of have the Midas touch.
yeah, they did. Only failing recently with Last Light. I get them mixed up.
I mean, no, not Last Light. Lightyear? No, not Lightyear.
No, Fall.
Lightfall.
But even again, like Destiny 2 when it came out was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of those expansions have been great. Yeah, I'm willing. All right. I'll concede. Bungie takes the lead over BioWare.
It's funny that you conceded to that, not because of Halo, but because of Destiny.
I think Destiny puts them over.
I mean, yeah, the live service element does.
It's the thing that overflows the glass. It's what puts it over. Like
especially because BioWare's output the last 10 years hasn't been that.
Yeah.
Anthem and Andromeda and what else have we seen from them recently? Like just some failed projects and mismanagement and
delays.
I would argue the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is a better overall package than the Master Chief Collection, but one, the Master Chief Collection wasn't done by Bungie, and two, I guess arguably you could say like Mass Effect 1 needed more work than Halo 1 and 2 do.
Yeah, but also to your point, like you just said, we can't credit that to Bungie. It was 343.
Yeah,
that put that together. We can't. I don't think we can in good conscience put that to Bungie's credit.
It's a hard. But when your best output in 10 years is a collection of your best games, yikes.
Kind of kills that.
Yeah. That it's a point. It's a point against it. Bungie doesn't have a KOTOR though. I'm gonna hang my hat on that. Bungie doesn't have a KOTOR.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. So now where do they go here? I don't think either of them top From Software.
No, or Naughty. No, obviously not. No, Naughty Dog and FromSoft I think are locked in.
I honestly think that we can just slide them at the bottom too.
I feel like Insomniac's at the bottom through this conversation because
I'm not letting that go.
You have a lot of legacy, like
Insomniac is too consistent.
But as you were pointing out with Mass Effect,
it was never able. Both these other game dev studios have lows. Insomniac doesn't really have a low. They have like some unremarkable periods, but Insomniac hasn't put out a bad game.
By that same token, I think if it's not going over BioWare, Bungie's going over it due to them also being consistent.
I'm open to that conversation. But
because Bungie has Halo and Destiny, as we said before, first-person shooters, multiplayer, and live service games. 3 different types of games influenced by that studio.
Right, but when you think about influence and all that, you got to think about how far exactly can that actually take you in terms of like, okay, so you did this, but like what have you put out lately? Like what legacy things, like when you think about the sheer quantity of legacy that Insomniac has, I think that easily puts them over Bungie and BioWare.
But I mean, to kind of work against myself, I don't think Insomniac's ever put out anything influential.
Just like things that
like they've just refined the formula of something that's come before them. Ratchet is a refining the formula of, and Spyro is refining the formula of Mario 64. Resistance is refining. I don't think Resistance tops Halo, but Resistance is just doing what Halo did. Spider-Man is doing what the Arkham series did. Better, I would argue.
Yeah.
But still. You know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense. I'm still on Bungie being above Insomniac. I can concede BioWare due to the consistency, but
Yeah, the consistency really hurts BioWare. But again, like, Insomniac doesn't have a KOTOR either.
that was the other thing that was kind of leaning in on, because I'm like, I haven't played it, but I know how people refer to that game. I mean, the twist.
I would say the Spider-Man games are comparable to Mass Effect. Comparable.
I'll give you Bungie over Insomniac. I'm not going to give you BioWare over Insomniac.
I'm willing to concede that. I think Bungie just deserves it because they're Bungie. But beyond that,
I mean, at some point, consistency has to give you the win, right? Like, when you're low, it's been nearly 30 years of bangers. Like, you know, not like the most impressive bangers, but they're all good games. 30 years of good games has to give you something, right?
but Bungie's always been relevant no matter what time we're going through. They had Halo, and then they jumped on to Destiny.
Insomniac's older than Bungie.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Insomniac's more active than Bungie. I mean, we're in the PlayStation 5, and Insomniac's put out 3 games.
Yeah.
You know? Plus the remaster. You know? Like, that's not easy to do.
No,
and so they're active, they're consistent. Like, God, they're just the Drake of video games.
Yeah, back to the source of this entire.
All right. I'm willing to go there. I feel like at some point we're gonna be like, why the fuck did we do this to ourselves? But I'm, wow, BioWare being at the bottom hurts my soul.
I know. I don't blame you.
But when you compare it to all of these other awesome studios, it's not even like we're saying any of these studios are bad. It's just the fact that when you do take this game of comparison and put them and rank them up against each other, I mean,
Money's the water.
shit happens, you know? Like,
So the final listing is as follows. Number 5 is BioWare. Number 4, Insomniac. Number 3, Bungie. Number 2, From Software. And number 1, Naughty Dog.
Sounds good to me.
that's one naughty dog.
That was fun.
It
Well,
was fun.
boys.
Yeah, very good game.
You know, I'd say we went about 17 minutes long, but I think it was overall worth it.
I think so too.
Tell us what you think about how we ranked these studios. Do you disagree? I somewhat disagree. I don't exactly like how this list is. I don't think Tavin does either. I think Connor's the only one that's overall happy with this list.
I am. You're right.
It hurts me that BioWare is in last, but like,
You know,
I mean, we played the conversation out, and excellent points were made.
just how it goes. And then let me know what you think. What you think of the best Halo game is. Isn't that funny? We did the pre-order about Halo, and we were talking so much about Bungie just now.
Huh, yeah, you're right. Changed again.
And then, you know, what's your favorite adults only game?
Oh,
Leisure
Jesus
Suit Larry.
Christ.
Yeah, I mean that was the first thing that popped in my head when you said it was AO.
I don't even
was
know what that
Leisure
game
Suit
is.
Larry.
Is it? Is any of
It's-
them AO?
It's like a point and click adventure with boobs.
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was M or AO.
I mean, I think
It makes
there are
sense if it
certain
was AO.
there are certain versions of it that are AO. Well, there's also
I can imagine that.
it itself is a franchise, so there's several games in Leisure Suit Larry franchise.
It's probably just one of them is probably just a porn game.
There's a lot of them. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one, boys. Let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining.